Nobody will ever buy from you because they understand you. People will buy from you because you understand them.
Welcome to the Startup Sales Talks podcast, episode 10. And we have very special guest today, Biderman. He's joining us from Tel Aviv, one of my favorite cities in the world. He's currently a CEO of Novacy AI, behavioral intelligence tool for salespeople. And can be more exciting to speak with you today. How are you feeling?
Feeling great, man. Thank you for having me. And looking forward to speak a bit about novelty, behavioral intelligence, and show guys how things supposed to work in this world.
Amazing. In the previous episode, I already told folks that you will be on the next episode. So everyone is super excited to hear a bit more about your solution. But let's start with yourself. So tell a bit more about your journey, how you end up in sales, and how was an evolution for you to become a CEO of Novacy?
Absolutely. So in Israel, usually you start your journey in the army. You actually, called into duty around the age of 18, and you're starting a whole different journey than a lot of other countries. So it's build your character. For 3 years, I was a tank commander and serving in a lot of very difficult situations. I think that this one really built my character and showed me that I'm good at working in a group. I'm very good in, managing distress situations, difficult situations, in, let's say high conflicted areas in the world that actually helped me build my own, type of person that can push forward and persevere. So for me, I think as I finished my duty and went to the market, I said, okay, what I'm good at, and I just drew the whole list. So I said, okay, let's give a shot for doing some sales. So I joined actually Chevrolet, the car manufacturing company. So I started selling cars at the age of 21, and in the same time, I actually did my first degree in management. But I just started selling cars, and I think that this is like, people looking at selling car as one of the lowest roles that you can do in sales, but it's building your, seller, your inner seller. You have the grit, you have the power to actually close the deal with like 30 to 40 to $50,000 in one day. From the second you met someone to the second you drive out with a new car, and this building your seller type. You know that you can push, you know that you can close, but you need to understand the process. You do need to understand your customers. And when I started, it was as a car salesman. 7 years later, I was the country leader of Chevrolet Israel, already managing 18 branches, over 100 people, 100 sellers that selling cars. And in this journey, I actually learned a lot about, the processes and how things are supposed to go, and even inventory management and everything around this stuff. And then something very special happened. I got a call from Oracle saying, listen, we want to start to sell to, automotive industry. And I think that you have like the character type that I want to test and see if we can have a fit, and then, join our team and let's see it. So from this call, which was very, emotional for me, because I never thought of myself, but someone that's gonna sell some tech, already 7 years in cars selling. So from this moment, 3.5 months of just interviews, and I started working at Oracle. And the twist is enormous. It's just, it's crazy. From selling B2C into selling B2B, enterprise selling, very long sales cycles. I don't need to share about this. Like, you're having a call, I don't know, like 12 to 16 people on the same call, just talking about how can I do something transformational from your company from A to Z. It's nothing small in this company. So it was a very amazing journey of learning how to sell from B2C to B2B to enterprise selling. And I think that this one gave me the full aspect of what I'm supposed to do in this world, what I'm good at, and how I'm supposed to do it. So this is what drove me in. Let's go.
That's where you build your character, and grit is actually I knew like a lot of successful salespeople used to sell basic stuff, books,
Yeah,
for example, in US. And after
absolutely,
that, they are edible. Yeah.
absolutely.
And what inspired you to build the company in sales tech? It's like super difficult category, and
Yeah,
how you kind of end up with that?
absolutely. I think that one of the most important things that you're gonna do as a co-founder, when you have an idea, it's not about how can I make money. It's supposed to be how can I solve a real problem. And being in sales for like 13 years and having the problems over and over again just ignite something in me that says, okay, this is a problem that I would like to answer, and now what I need to do is take the shortcut and just say, okay, this is a real problem. Cool, it's already important that you have this. Now let's talk with tons of different people and understand that the problem is not just mine to have. It's a general problem, a lot of people actually having it. And for me, it was the transition from face-to-face interaction to the video conference era when we met COVID. So COVID just opened a whole new setting experience for me. After having huge desks full of people talking about all these crazy processes, and when someone moves, you immediately saying like Don, what are you thinking over there? What do you share something? Do you want to talk about this? Can I explain something? And this environment and moving into Zoom or Teams or Meet or WebEx or whatever the platform that you're using, it's just creating like a huge, let's say, tunnel vision that prevents you from grasping what the hell is happening on a sales call. And for me, it felt like it's much harder to build relationship. It's so much harder to understand what people are thinking. So much harder to navigate the call without actually doing just the basic stuff. Like I don't want a demo. I think that people who are doing a demo, let's say 85% of the people they're doing a demo, they're doing it in a very, let's call it not the right way. and I think that the problem is that Zoom is actually pushing us into doing the demo over and over again because, okay, I have 30 minutes, hard stop. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to share the information and let's hope it's going to stick. And this is a very wrong way to do this, just for you to grasp the problem, right? So right now, we on a very basic conversation, right? It's me and you, two people. If you try to look at me, and without moving your eyes. Okay, just use your peripheral vision. Okay, try to look at yourself. You can't see shit.
Exactly.
And this is insane. I'm having a conversation with you. If I have two more stakeholders, what can I get from this call? You asking questions, I'm looking at you, I'm answering your question, but the other two decision makers in the call with you, I'm not giving them any focus right now. And this one can be devastated for a sales rep. As I'm sharing information with you, I want to see how the people are actually reacting to me. And for us, it was just revolutionary because we understood the problem. We understood what is happening. And right now we are one of the only companies in the world that actually giving you the ability to hear what people are sharing with you. So we listen to what people said, but we also collecting the information about people who are just sitting silent. If they're with me, against me, what they love and what they don't about what we just talking about. So this is Novacy, and this is the let's say the basics of what drove me in.
Okay, very interesting. And how does the platform actually analyzes the patterns?
Yeah.
And what kind of algorithms do you have in the product to predict the customer, preferences or trends that you saw during a sales call, let's say?
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't need to say the two letters. Of course, a lot of AI is involved in this platform, but we're talking about three different dimensions. So we have text. So a lot of algos around text. Of course, we're using LLMs, what you know as probably ChatGPT or other platforms. So we're using LLMs to collect a lot of information that is being conveyed in a conversation to try and give you more data about what happened. So what are the deal risks? What are the pain points? how you can solve them based on your platform because we know your platform. And all of this information is being collected from the text. From this, we also collect the contextual data and then just using it in, let's say, in parallel to our video analysis. So when you're using the video analysis, and now this is the switch, right? You saying what people are talking about, but you're actually monitoring the silence. Okay, I want to see the people reaction. I don't want to see the speaker. The speaker is not relevant. The only thing is relevant, and when I'm speaking about competitive landscape, how you reacting to it. Okay, so this is what we want to capture. And from the audio, we're collecting all the, let's say, sentiment analysis. If you said something positive, negative, neutral, and from this, we can move on and combine all this information. This is what's called multimodality. We're taking all this stuff, combining it to one algorithm that can understand the context and then giving you the insights. This is how we're doing it in a very technical way. Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty clear. And can you share a customer success story when they started to use our product and they see their conversion skyrocketing, or convert, like, some kind of other things improved in the sales team? Like, can you give a very specific, real world example?
For sure. So I can share numbers, but people actually, they're hearing the numbers and it's going through them. So let me explain in a specific, very cool use case that I had, and I think that people are gonna, connect to it much stronger. So when we raised our seed round, we had conversation with a lot of VCs. Okay, and the cool stuff is I have Novacy, so I'm just keeping it on and give it to give it away. Like, okay, Novacy, guide me through, show me what is happening, show me who is with me, who is against me, all the stuff that we're doing. Of course, it was a very basic stuff back then, but when we had a conversation, I talked with two people from a VC. One of them was the general partner of the VC, and second one was his associate. And they asked me a question, a real simple question: who's going to lead the sales? And I'm saying, okay, so I'm, in this game for 11 years now. I'm doing this and that, and I did ABC and all the stuff that I just shared with you, and I know the platform the best. Of course, in the beginning, it's going to be me. And later on, we're going to involve the people, the right people, blah, 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 blah. But when I said me, you can see both the general partner and the associate just twitching, moving in the chair, feeling super uncomfortable. And I'm just, playing the game, right? Continue the conversation when I understand that I have a problem right there. After the call, 40 minutes later, by the way, yeah, 40 minutes later, we talked for 1 hour. This happened in the 20th minute. 40 minutes later, I'm saying this and I'm saying, okay, like, I'm screwed, right? Because this is an objection from the worst kind. This is objection for the seller. So let's solve it. I'm picking up the phone. I'm saying, hey, Grant, like, thank you for a wonderful conversation. Just have one quick question, if you don't mind. When we talked about my potential move to the US to lead the sales team, I saw you and I'll leave your name because two names, it's already a company. So when you and X actually moved in your chair, would you like to elaborate? And he just started laughing, say, okay, cool catch. I believe in boots on the ground. So yes, you have the experience. Yes, you know the platform the best, but you never been in the US as a citizen. You didn't learn in the right universities. You never played football. You don't have the right connection in the US to actually open the whole, sales team of Novacy. And I said, okay, so can I share my biggest fear? So sure, go for it. When we never saw this platform before, having a conversation, having a relationship with a sales leader in a remote position, it's going to be super difficult and unbelievably hard to actually, nail. And why is this? We don't know who our ICP is yet. We don't know how people digest the platform. We don't know the sales cycle. We don't know anything about how we're supposed to sell this. So let me make a suggestion, if you don't mind. It said, sure. Cool. So I'm going to lead the sales team. I'm going to build the playbook for 6 months. And after the 6 months, when we understand really what we're supposed to do, then we're going to hire the sales. The next thing, he took a plane, flew to Israel. We set on Jaffa on the Satai, and this is our biggest investment today. And I think that this story is actually what involving a very personal conversation, yeah, but showing all the cards. Think about it as a poker game. Okay, I have a bluff. In this side, yeah, in his side, in this call, he said like, I don't want to share it. It's just one of the places that I'm worried about. I'm gonna write it down, and probably I'm gonna kick them out of my pipeline later on. But I don't want to open a conversation about this. It's gonna be a pride person. He's doing sales for 12 years. I don't have time for him to sell to me. This one actually saved me. So this is Novacy.
Crazy stuff. I never actually thought about using your product for fundraising, but it totally makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and can you like share any example like from the account executive standpoint? Let's say when you speak with your clients,
Absolutely.
how it changed how, for example, the coaching of sales team, while having this powerful tool inside your arsenal.
Absolutely. So what we're doing in a very basic way is connecting the topics that they discussed to your customer's reaction. And then I'm giving you a full performance dashboard that's showing the leader and the seller himself. We're showing them the ability to understand like, okay, where is the specific problems for the specific seller? And we know it for every step of the way. So we divide it into specific parts of the conversation, and then we collect all the information and push it to that dashboard. From there, you can see if you have a specific problem in a specific topic. This is very easy to fix because we have all the conversation of your area players, and now we're just taking a snippet, tagging the teammate and saying, okay, this is the problem that you have today. Before we getting into a keep call, let's fix it. Okay, this is the stuff that I really want you to fix, and this is an easy fix. Okay, it can be that people are dragging with pricing, or people say, yeah, I'm going to send you pricing later on. I hate those guys. So we need to talk about everything. We need to understand that the other side is actually consuming the information that we're sharing. But I think the most important thing is we need to understand our customers. Okay, nobody will ever buy from us because because they're understanding us, right? It's not about understanding. It's about you understanding them. It's about how the seller is actually understanding the buying part. And when I understand the buying party, I can actually solve the problem for them. Every decision that someone is going to take is going to be emotion, right? It's going to be emotional. It's just going to justify it as something that is just the true thing. This is the one thing that I need to solve. It's nothing related to, like firm numbers. It's about this thing is actually preventing me from doing what I'm supposed to do. This is taking hours from my sleep. And the one line that I got from one of our first customers was, you brought me Netflix back to life. You brought Netflix back to my life. Like, I finally have time to do the stuff that I love because you, taking a lot of work out of my day. So, yeah.
Yeah, and you are a believer that people are buying with emotion, not with their
Everyone,
brain.
everyone. Think about it as a very basic. Yeah, we need to justify it. We need to talk about the numbers. We need to quantify everything, right? But if you don't have a pain, okay, let's talk about like the pain funnel, right? If I'm going to talk with you about a pain and say, yeah, I'm having an headache, and I have like a pill that you can take, it's going to solve the headache. This is a very easy fix, but let's say you can drink water and in 30 minutes it's going to pass away. So maybe this is good enough and I don't need the pill. But if I understand that you have migraines and you have one of the most important deals that you ever been a part of in 30 minutes, and you're afraid that you can't think straight until this meeting, and this deal can actually save you a deal. Now this deal is worth a lot more, right? So we do need to understand our customer's problem. We do need to understand all the complexity around it and how we can around it, and how can we solve a real problem. So yeah, I'm going to quantify it, but I'm going to ask questions that are going to drive emotion. Okay, like you're saying you have a problem, and I say, can you share a bit more about this? Can you share an example of it? Okay, did you try to solve it before? Okay, can you share a bit more? How do you feel about it? And all this stuff is actually
Yeah,
getting the juice flowing, and the
yeah,
person is emotionally involved in the process, right? Eventually, you're gonna say, okay, then how much does this cost you? This is the question for the CFO. This is not for the problem. This is not from the problem owner. This is for the CFO. So yeah, everyone is emotional.
yeah. We're emotional human beings, and this
Yeah,
is what you need to understand, definitely. And also, you're analyzing the behavior, body language, which is, I think, that missing puzzle in the whole thing. But in Europe, for example, there's a GDPR policy, and people might get sensitive.
yeah,
We're using video for analyzing our kind of prospects behavior, and blah 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 blah. All that stuff. So
yeah.
can you like explain for the audience how you balance between like privacy and giving in-depth insights for your customers, and how you're making sure that you are like aligned with policies worldwide?
Absolutely. So first of all, when let's say GDPR alignment, it's something that you need to have. It doesn't concern how I'm gonna, give the insights later on, and what are the insights that I need to get, like to give. If we're looking on GDPR, we're saying that every person is responsible for his own data, and I, as a company, have to, give the possibility for the person in front of me to say like, I'm consenting, yes or no. This is something that I'm going to go with. The only thing that makes people like customers already saying yes, I'm willing to be recorded and analyzed is first, people are already regular to doing so for a long time ago, right? We have different platforms that recording, analyzing everything that we're saying, taking our tone of voice, taking everything. So in the buying process, we're already regular for this. The only thing that I'm saying is I'm giving the seller the ability to come back to the time that we sat around a table and we had a grown-up discussion about how we're going to solve your problem. And if I don't have as a seller the ability to understand that this is something that is not right for you, I'm going to spend your time. I'm going to drag you through a lot of emails. I'm just going to bother you a lot. Give the seller the information that he needs to actually perform. When I understand what is your problem, I can solve it. And you can say that you don't want to solve it. And this is fine. But let me have the tools to actually understand it. And this is the, combination. Of course, we understand it. If someone don't want to be recorded, you don't have to. We don't collect, by the way, any biometrical data and anything like this. We're just seeing the movement, collecting the information and saying, okay, this in connection to this topic, and then deleting the information. But this is, again, technical.
Interesting. And how do you see like this evolving in the future? For example, right now this is used on Zoom,
Yeah,
but do you see the one thing coming? For example, I'm sitting in a face-to-face meeting, multiple people, and I
yeah.
have smart glasses.
So we're standing in your room, probably with no trousers, having the glasses, and now we're sitting in a room. So yeah, absolutely. So I think that this technology is going to just boost in every optional way to involve in sales. Eventually, we as sellers understand that if we're not uh, try and use and involve the AI in our processes, we just not going to be relevant anymore. And in this, spectrum, in this world that we're living in, when we have the ability to have like assistants, okay, what's the difference between an AI assistant, okay, to a person that's sitting next to me and this is his role or her role, right? I heard like a very interesting conversation with a teacher that's saying like she's coming with someone that's developing AI and saying like, yeah, but schools, people are going like students are going and doing tests, and now they're using GPT. And when they're using GPT, they never learn. So we need to block GPT from usage in schools and blah blah blah. And she said, no, you're doing it entirely wrong. This is a tool that's going to be part of our lives from now to probably forever. Let's understand how we can utilize it better. Let's understand how we can do stuff that is smarter the GPT. Let's understand how people approach in consuming data better. Let's make them, I don't know, bigger signers. It's not supposed to be a book report anymore because nobody cares about book reports. You give the book name and get a report. It's easy as this. So let's think about how we can evolve, And I think that this is the stuff that we're going to see later on in sales tech, but in AI in general.
Yeah, actually, Norway, Oslo is really smart about this. So they bought like 20,000 subscriptions of ChatGPT Premium and just gave
Yep,
it. And just, guys,
amazing.
like, learn, utilize it, like, use it to your own advantage, It's like, this is the way to go.
Absolutely.
I have a
Action.
sister. I have a sister, 14 years old. I spoke with her, I was like, how's it going in school? Show me like maybe what you're learning right now. And she showed me her notebook. And I saw like there's a lot of things written down in the notebook. And was like, why you're like rewriting the stuff that you see in the book? She was like, teachers are forcing us to do that. I was like, why? Yeah, because we will learn better. I was like, oh my god, this is like so wrong, like so wrong that you're like rewriting the text from book. Like it's the stupidest thing that you can ever think about. Like in the 2024, it's like when we had AI
Absolutely.
tools in our hands.
Absolutely. I think that everyone needs to evolve in this process, not just, the tech environment. Of course, that companies and organizations are going to be the first to actually, consume this AI and use this because the business aspect always get this stuff first as an early adopter or whatever. But as soon as we get it across everything, like AI, LLMs, okay, take LLMs, put it in I don't know, like city as a city support. Okay, when I'm calling the support of the city and I want to talk about like an environmental issue or something, why do I need to speak with a person? Why do I need to wait? I'm calling my telecommunication provider. Why do I need to wait? Everything is already enriched, so let's move. Like this is an era that is like an explosion of very critical, AI components into our life, and we can use it and utilize it because they did an amazing job in allowing us to do so. So let's use it and let's grow with it. So absolutely, man, this is the way to go.
Yeah, but in sales, I see one risk, right? That how to balance between building the like relationship, like real relationship, and using the like science of like data and be like super data driven. Like, what would be your thoughts about this? Like having the balance here.
It's just a question of trust eventually, right? So when we're having a conversation with someone, we just need to really give it then. That's it. Okay. If we really care about our customer and we really care about solving an issue and not about the next paycheck, of course it's important to get the next paycheck. But if we can really care about our customers and about the problems that we are solving, the relationship will come because the relationship is there. I want to help you solve this. Tell me more about this. How can I help you? This is how you can help me. Sounds amazing. We have a fit. If we don't have a fit, we don't have a relationship. This is obvious. It's so easy to get a relationship when you have a fit. Now ask the right questions. Go through this. The data just show if there is a fit, yes or no, and if you need to push forward or stall. This is the only thing that we want to understand, right? Like, who are the people that I need to talk with? AI can help you with this. About what to talk with them, like what are the specific topics that we have problems with each specific persona? AI, generate an email for me. Okay, of course I'm gonna walk through it and I'm gonna see that everything was fixed and good and okay, but this is a conversation that we generated. If we're angry about automation, it's because we're stupid. Automations are amazing. Automations taking a 45 minutes conversation, turn it into one paragraph. Amazing. Okay. And then I'm saying, we'll say, okay, this is cool. This is the right stuff to actually send our customer. Oh, send it. So have the engagement, make a real impression on a customer when you really want to solve their problem, and the relationship will come. By the way, if you give a very good service to your customers, this is relationship again. You're gonna get hurt if you're gonna stall. If you're gonna stall, it's probably because you're not utilizing a ton of different stuff that can help you move much faster. Okay, I felt it a lot, by the way, at Oracle back in the day when we need to generate a quote. It's a disaster. You need to talk with like I don't know, like 5 to 6 people, different regions, different. Okay, and I need this, and I don't know why, but I need this queue, and this is not part of this package. So if you can just, and this is a customer killer. We want to move fast. We want to give service. We want to make things right. So use AI when it can cut the general stuff that you don't need to focus on. Don't use AI when you're trying to personalize, when you're trying to make a real impression, when you're trying to understand your customer in a very humane, let's call it, manner.
You touched upon a very important thing as well, sales culture. Like, like what is the culture of my sales team? I'm going to get back with a reply today
Yeah.
or tomorrow morning. I'm going to get back, with that call today or tomorrow. I'm going to send the quote like in 30 minutes or like in 4 hours. Like these little things that makes a difference.
Mhm.
But I see that like at least how when I like manage the salespeople, young guys are struggling with that. They need to now install that right software in their mind to
Mhm.
have a pace, to be quick, to not kind of pause on anything. How do you build a strong sales culture with your sales team?
I think that first of all, you need to get them involved. You need to let your team understand the importance of it, and not by saying like this is part of our playbook and you need to focus on doing the stuff like the playbook says. No, it's about okay. We found out that if you're walking through the quote before you're sending it, you actually improve your closing ratio by 10%. Okay, they're gonna do it. I just need to resonate it, right? We all acting emotionally, but we just trying to justify it for the reason. So let's understand. Okay, you want to close more deals? Okay, you came to the right place. Now, let's understand how we can actually make this happen. Usually, what we're doing is taking the A player and pulling down. Like this is the attributes to make the A player. These are the stuff that can make him or her close more deals. Let's break it down and explain. This is what I saw like in love with the platform with Novacy, because you can share snippets of real conversations. I'm as a seller, if sales enablement representative, okay, will come to me and say, oh, I would like to work with you about 1 to 3, okay, and here's the stuff that we found out, and I think that what you need to ask is this 12 questions, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to say, okay, cool, sounds very interesting, and probably in the next call, I'm going to return to sell same way that I sold before because I have my baggage already, right? But if I'm going to show you today that closing 35% more than you is doing the same 12 questions, you're going to do it the right on the same day on the next call 25 minutes later. So we just need to push in the right direction. We just need to show them what they're going to gain from it. And then we can build the culture in a best way. I think that everything that we want to try, okay, we need to figure out why we're going to do it. And if even if we're going into an exploration, we need to talk it through with our reps, explain this, explain the reasoning behind it, and then say, okay, we're going for an exploration, and I really need you to do it with me, because if you do, this is what I think that you're going to get out of it. Okay, and then you can craft it and you can work with everyone in the best way possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's actually I think I totally agree. I think you need to give them a reason to do stuff. You want to earn more money, you want to higher commissions. Yeah, this is the stuff that we see that works, like if you're doing that, you have a higher chance to get that. Absolutely.
Yep.
And all for our audience, I think everyone who's listening probably to this podcast are aspiring to be better, to
Yep.
improve in their craft. What what kind of stuff you would recommend for salespeople to stay ahead in the competitive market and to improve in this craft, let's say, and to learn new things? Any materials or recommendations?
Yeah. First of all, before we talking about our materials, few sentences that are going to change your like mindset. And I think the mindset is the most important thing about being a seller. You always get a no. Okay, this is the basic. Like this is the basic situation. Like I'm starting a call with a no, because if I'm never gonna do the call, I have a no. Now I'm having a call. Maybe I'm gonna yes. It's fine. Okay, so never worry about the outcome, because if you're gonna worry about the outcome, it's gonna shift the way that you're approaching the conversation itself. The meeting is gonna be over with a no. Now let's understand why it's supposed to be a yes. And this is a beautiful way to disqualify, which is the one of the most important things and abilities that a seller have. Because if I'm trying to qualify my prospect, I'm doing it wrong. I need to disqualify. I need to understand why this is not the right fit for my customer. Because then I'm really going through the difficult things. And I really understand if this customer is gonna churn in 2 months. Okay, it's okay that right now we have a problem. Right now we have the budget. Right now we have the timeline, and I understand how attractive it is to just move forward, press the button, and close the deal. But if it's gonna churn in 2 months, it's gonna hit your reputation. It's gonna make people talk about you in a very bad way. That's gonna make you in the future lose a lot more customers than this one. You're gonna handle support a lot, and you don't want this. You want to close more deals, you need to disqualify. So this two is actually connected into the sentence that I said before. Nobody will ever buy from you because they understand you. People will buy from you because you understand them. And by this, I'm talking mainly about pain assessment. I think that the first meeting, 45 minutes, just about pain. Like, okay, 5 minutes about high and buy. Okay, high and next steps. Get it? All the meetings supposed to be around the pain. I need to put a finger on the place, on the injury, and just twist it and understand that this is legit and this is something that I can help you with. And if this is the stuff, you have a red carpet, just walk it through.
Amazing. Or thank you very much for your time and being on the podcast, sharing these, just amazing insights.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. And wish everyone, just enjoy your time. Selling is hard, but it's fun. It's satisfying. And if you push through, you're gonna get results and you're gonna enjoy it. So enjoy the process.
Yeah, and or last thing, how people can get in touch with you.
The best way just in LinkedIn. So Biderman, it's writing like Biderman. So just feel free to hit me up on LinkedIn. I'm very responsive and talk soon.
Okay, man. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.